So I'm just going to make a video real quick to explain to you the difference between what is a magazine and what is a clip, and if you're curious, the feet of my tripod camera. So let me just start by saying that if you're in a conversation with someone and they use these terms interchangeably or incorrectly, there's no need to correct them, because the most important part of language is that both of you know what you're talking about and understanding each other. So if you're at the range and your friend asks you for a clip for his AR, you don't need to correct him. He knows what he means, you know what he means. You can just give him a magazine. But there is a technical difference between what is a clip, what they do, and a magazine, and what it does. And I'm just going to explain that to you real quick. So what I have in front of you now is 4 examples of what is a clip. And a clip is something, in the simplest terms, that you would use to load a magazine, to put cartridges into a magazine. However you want to do it. There's 2 different kinds. You can have envelope clips like this one, which keep the rounds all together as one package, and then you stick this whole thing inside the gun. Clip, rounds, everything, and the gun uses that to feed. Or you can have these various types of stripper clips, where all these do is they hold the cartridges, and then you put them into the gun and strip the rounds off of them, hence the name stripper clip. And then once that's done, then the clip gets ejected from the gun and it falls to the ground. Ostensibly they're disposable, although nowadays you wouldn't treat them as disposable unless you were uber wealthy or something. And there's a couple different designs. This is a Checkmate SKS clip. These are Swedish Mauser clips. These are reproductions of Swiss 7.5 chargers. Why these look so different with them wrapping around the nose of the bullet and all is a story for another time. And the difference between that and a magazine is used to store cartridges to then be fed into the gun. So you can load magazines with clips, as I explained before. They can either be detachable like these, or like they are in an M1, or a Mauser. They can be built into the gun itself. But almost all guns these days, aside from like hunting rifles, use detachable magazines, because when the magazine is empty, you take it out and then you put a new one in the gun and you have more rounds ready to be fed into the gun. All right, so here's an example of loading with an envelope clip. You see you take cartridge clip, whole thing, stuff it inside the gun, and it stays there until now the gun is empty and you can reload it again. Alternatively, with the stripper clip, first, make access to the magazine, which is here built into the gun. Take the stripper clip, put in the guides, strip them out. Now all the rounds are in the magazine, no longer on the clip. Clip gets kicked away, and now the gun is full. Now this is, again, as opposed to loading using a detachable box magazine. So now I take the whole magazine with the cartridges in it. It's already loaded. Now it's in the gun. Now the gun is ready to fire. And then when the gun is empty, you take the whole magazine out. And now the gun has no way to feed cartridges on its own until you put a new magazine into it. Now, since I have the perfect gun for it, I'm going to use a clip to load a magazine, but which is detachable from the gun. Hopefully this goes smoothly with these SKS clips. Even though they're Czech, they don't always. That time it did. Now the gun has its magazine with cartridges in it, but I can take the magazine, take the magazine out. And now the gun cycles once, but it's not going to feed anymore because it doesn't have a magazine to hold cartridges into it. So I hope that answered your question for this. Hopefully you come back next time for another little interesting tidbit of information. Bye.